Director Steve Appel. He's going to be talking a little bit about the 2020-2021 academic year as far as University of the Southwest athletics and academics goes.
Yeah, so the main purpose of this video, I think, is to, share some light about what's going on our campus. A lot of student athletes is getting really close to that time where we're getting ready to bring student athletes back on the campus, and we're excited to see them back on campus. But I think this is more just some informational videos just to kind of, again, put some people at ease and give everyone a broad idea of some of the things that we're doing to keep our student athletes safe, our coaches safe, our personnel and staff on campus safe, and still allowing everyone to operate as normal as we can. This year will be definitely different. There'll be some challenges. Overall, though, I think we're in a good state of mind right now. I think we have some great coaches on board. I think we've got great leadership on campus. I think the overall thing to mention about the University of Southwest is that we're ready for our kids to be back. We're ready for our kids to be back in the classroom. We're ready for our kids to be back in the weight room. We're ready for our kids to be back at practice. And soon we'll be ready for our kids to start competing again. And I think that's the main thing to understand is that we will be there again. Obviously what happened in the spring was hard for some of us. It's never fun sending kids home. But it's something that needed to be done. And I think overall we've prepared ourselves enough to have our kids back on campus and to stay safe and stay healthy, and still do the things that they love to do. So obviously, NEI came out with a statement, last week, and they have moved all the fall sports championships over to the spring. What that looks like right now, we still don't quite know. We have an idea, but obviously the next step will be setting our championship dates, and then our conference will set our conference schedules, and then we'll start to complete our schedules. Nothing as far as our winter sports have been modified as far as game lengths or game schedules. Baseball, softball, track, the spring sports are also being left alone as of right now. Obviously, as new information comes out, we'll definitely share that information. But as of right now, the plan is to play our fall sports in the spring. Winter sports will act as is of right now, and spring sports still on. So we're going to try to act, business as usual, and now everybody will have the fall to get prepared for the spring, or the winter as well. So we're looking forward to it. Hopefully the next couple segments will be able to shed some light on some of the
USW doing to ensure a safe campus environment and protect the welfare of the students.
I think overall, I think we're doing much more than many universities out in the country. The state of New Mexico came out with their plan for higher education almost 2 months after our administrative team here on campus came out with our plan. So I think we're well ahead of the game. I think we're well prepared. We will be making modifications to our training room, our locker rooms, sizes of practice sessions, our sizes in the weight room, our team functions, our office spaces, obviously travel, but we have the sanitizing stations across. We have temperature checks throughout campus. One of the nice things that we will be adding this year will be an app that all our student athletes will have. So every morning, basically, they'll take their temperature, it'll upload to this app, and it'll notify us whether they're either green or red. So it's a great way to stay ahead of the curve on that side. But we're going to make sure that our facilities are clean, our weight rooms are sanitized, our equipment is sanitized. We've got some protocols for entering the SLC here. We're going to have an entrance way. We're going to have a temperature check. They'll wash their hands. On every building on campus, they'll need to wear their masks. And as simple as this little mask right here. It's become the new normal. If people are not ready or not accustomed to wearing a mask yet, it's quite simple. My main goal is to do everything that we need to do in order for our student athletes to compete again on the safety aspect. We need to get back to that time where our kids are playing and having some fun and competing at a high level. But overall, some of the things that we're doing on campus, I think are better than most. We've installed touchless faucets and stalls around campus. So I think we're ahead of the game. I think the biggest thing to ensure the safety when kids get back, obviously some kids are already back as our RAs are already here on campus. But one of the biggest things that we'll do during orientation, our kids get back on the 12th to the 16th. Obviously the state of New Mexico has a 14-day quarantine restriction in place right now. We're going to have a modified version of that when everybody gets back to campus. It is not going to be called a quarantine. I want to stress that. It is not a quarantine. Kids will not be locked in their rooms. They will be free to walk around campus. We were going to be doing things outside. But basically, essentially, we see that the success of the NBA and the bubble, and basically what we're going to try to do is create our own bubble here on campus and in Hobbs. Obviously with the testing protocols, it's become harder to obtain tests, especially a large amount of them. So regardless, we're going to keep our kids safe in this bubble. We're going to basically keep the kids that are living on campus as much as we can, limit their actions in town. Kids that are living off campus will still be allowed on campus, except we'll have our buildings closed. We're going to make sure that our SLC is closed down, our indoor batting cage is closed down, our old gym is closed down, just until August 31st. The 31st, we will start to ease into the system. We will phase into getting back to a little bit of normalcy, but we're going to try to keep this bubble and maintain some good structure. That way we get into a good routine. And that's all it is making sure that we're making the positive decisions, we're making the right decisions. We can kind of ease into things rather than have everybody come back. It's a free-for-all. And, we want to be able to limit what I think most people are afraid of is the outbreak. I think, in speaking with our administrative team, I think having a bubble and creating our own bubble is going to work. I think we can manage things. I think by limiting the sizes of groups, it's going to work. And I have, a lot of faith in the things that we're putting into place. So, in fact, I believe that your kids will be safer on the campus of the University of Southwest rather than staying home. I truly believe that. I think the things that we have in place, your kids will be 100% safe here. You have people that will look after them. And again, we're eager to get our kids back. So,
Steve, how are classes going to work for student athletes once they get back to campus?
So the big question is it going to be face-to-face? Is it going to be all online? The real answer is, to be simple, it's going to be basically what we're calling them is high flex courses. They'll have a face-to-face element, as well as the courses basically being the information is delivered online. Obviously with our 2-week bubble atmosphere, we're going to start the classes on an online format. However, with the high flex, there'll actually be professors, including myself, teaching these classes live, during their class times. Once we get closer to Labor Day, then we'll start to ease into face-to-face instruction. I think that's the main goal, is to get our kids back in the classrooms and seeing the professors face-to-face. So we are going to have that element. Yes, some classes will be online, but I strongly urge you, this next coming up Thursday, I guess in 2 days, there will be an informational session held by Ryan Tipton, who's our VP and Provost of the university. Information will be going out to all the coaches about the webinar link. I strongly suggest all student athletes logging into that and watching the webinar, as he's going to give you much better details than I will about how the classes will be ran to a T. So again, this Thursday, I believe it's at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time. Coaches will send out the link. If not, you should have it already in your email. So make sure and please check your USW emails, as all information from the university is being sent to that email address. But this Thursday is a very important date to, I guess, see how classes will be ran from an educational standpoint.
With move-in starting on Wednesday, August 12th, what are the procedures going to be like for on-campus move-in as far as family and things of that nature?
So obviously orientation will be ran a little differently this year. There won't be any large herd style, sitting in lines and any of that other stuff. Basically what we've done this year is create a format to where kids have a personalized check-in, where everybody needs to make sure they know what their check-in time is. We will have limit of 2 guests per student. So whether it's mom, dad, mom, brother, mom, sister, whatever that case may be, 2 guests per student. Basically what the process will be is you'll arrive into campus there'll be a one tent as you enter. Everybody will get their temperatures checked. Student athletes will hand in their COVID questionnaire, which is posted on our website as well, to an athletic trainer that'll be present at that tent. The next stop will be over to housing. They'll be met by our housing director and possibly an RA or RD. They will show you to your room, go through those procedures there, check the room, and each student athlete will actually have basically everything in their room that they would get a normal orientation. They'll have their laptop there. They'll have an athletic packet there. They'll have their t-shirt, their water bottle, their mask. So everything will be basically in a goodie bag, essentially ready for them in their room. Again, we want to stress that you do come at your assigned times. If you're not there by your assigned times, you're going to have to wait or come back later. Off campus, it's anywhere from the 12th to the 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. Okay. Again, the procedure will be you check in, you'll get your temperature read, you'll hand in your COVID questionnaire, and then you'll swing all the way around by the admin education building, so closer to the soccer field. And there you'll meet two staff members from Student Life who will basically give you your bag there as well, with laptop, parking tags, whatever may be in this bag. So as far as everything else, a lot of the questions we are getting asked is, if my parents are in town, will I be able to hang out with them? The answer is yes. Basically kids will be checking in the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Okay. We will be starting our USW bubble the night of the 16th. So if your folks are in town, you want to hang out with them, etc. What we are going to ask all our students is, that's the time to go to Walmart. That's the time to get all your groceries. That's the time to get all your waters, etc. And then the night of the 16th is basically we'll start our USW bubble, which again, it's not a lockdown. It's nothing big. We're just going to be able to strongly urge kids to stay on campus as much as we can, and off-campus kids will be invited to campus when we have team activities, etc. We'll still have team meetings. Meetings will be organized a little differently. You probably outside, minus a couple of our big sports, where we have meeting rooms already spaced out, ready to go. So I think the biggest thing is please make sure that you're staying in contact with your coach. Please ask your coach questions. Please check your USW emails. All the information is in your emails, have been sent. If you're still unsure of when your check-in time may be, please get a hold of your coach. Your coach has been instrumental in setting up these times for everybody. But orientation will be smooth. It'll be easy. No herd groups. To me, it's a beautiful life. You'll get here. You'll check in. You'll get to your room. You'll have everything in your room.
Are there any suggestions of items that students should bring to campus this year in a different time? Sure,
I think that's a good question. I think we've been getting a lot more of those questions as of lately. Obviously, the university will be providing a mask. We will have hand sanitized stations across campus. We'll have temperature reading stations across campus. I think if we can stay ahead of the curve a little bit, I think a good idea would be bring as many masks as you can. We have to wash these things. We don't want someone just to have one mask the course of the semester. Athletics, we have purchased additional masks for our student athletes as well, so you'll be getting an additional mask at a later time. Sanitizing, hand sanitizer. If you can bring any of this stuff from home, soap, anything that you think you'll need, we'll suggest that you bring it.